Allie is actually, thank you for recording. Allie's actually who helped me get started, and we go way back to grade school, high school days, and then we actually went to nursing school together. So lots of nurses, or at least healthcare professionals, on here tonight, which I love. And so my oldest son is 4.5 now, but he was a little over a year when I got introduced to Plexus by Allie. Have been doing some research of my own about gut health and things you don't really learn in nursing school, and decided that it was time to figure out what was going on and take a leap of faith. So I did, and pretty quickly started to notice that I was feeling, um, way better. Probably a lot of the things that you guys are noticing as far as, less bloating or going to the bathroom regularly, or less cravings. I had a huge sweet tooth, so sugar cravings was huge for me to get rid of, kicking my Diet Coke addiction, those kind of things. Um, and, you know, Allie actually asked me to share with some friends, which I was like, no way, I am not opening up my mouth about this. Like, we probably talked, I was probably like 6 weeks into using the products, and just had this huge fear of what people would think if I made a post, if I started talking about this, like started talking about going to the bathroom. Like, nobody wants to hear me talk about that. Um, but I actually started talking to my sister about it, and she was on like a weight loss journey a little bit and was hit a plateau similar to what I had. And so she wanted to get started with me. And so that kind of opened up the door for me to want to open up my mouth, because I realized that I wasn't the only one suffering with these things, and a lot of other people thought that this was normal, and it doesn't have to be. And so that's what kind of made me overcome my fear of making a post and just getting out there. So 3.5 years later, never would have expected to be here, but so thankful, because I kind of did it as a hobby kind of thing for a while. And then when I got pregnant with my youngest, Henry, who's now 2, that's when I started thinking, like, I don't want to be working these long 12-hour shifts, working holidays, working weekends. I want to be able to be part time. I've never seen myself as a full time stay at home mom, not my thing. Good for you who do that, but that was just not me. But I definitely wanted to be home more than in the hospital. And so um, when Henry was, trying to think, I guess he was about 6 months old, I got to go part time. Um, and I was at like a Monday through Friday mostly job anyway. So I was going to work 3 days a week, 9-hour days, and that was just huge. And then recently, I actually just got to accept one of my dream jobs, with the pulmonary hypertension team at work. And I now work 2 days a week, no call, no weekends, no holidays. Like, just never expected that I would be this place in my career, um, with my kids this age, and truly be able to be home more with them. So that is just in a nutshell why I have continued to share, along with obviously helping so many people feel better. You just build this, not only your own belief of how these products help you, but when you see them helping other people for so many other reasons, it just continues to build and just gives you another passion, outside of, maybe what you think is making you you. You just find this other true passion to help people too, which I just love. So I think, Allison, I'll pass it on to you. I think you were going to share a little bit next.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm Allison. I know most of you, but I have been using Plexus products since like the end of October of 2020. It was right after I had my son Noah. I was feeling horrible in every way possible. I had a newborn. I had 2.5-year-old twins, and was just like, somebody help me. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't poop. I was moody. I was having headaches, bloating. I mean, I wanted to lose the baby weight. I mean, the list goes on and on of all the things that I was struggling with, and kind of felt like I was in a place where, kind of Sam mentioned, like, you just feel like it was normal, and like, I'm a mom now, and this is just what I have to deal with. But actually, Sam, I had seen her talking about it. I probably talked to her about it at work, and was just like, no, not my thing. When I was pregnant, with Noah. And then once I had Noah and was feeling so bad and just needed a change, I decided to jump all in. And within a week, I was pooping regularly. Within 2 weeks, my headaches were a little bit better controlled. I wasn't craving the naps. I was, what else? I like lost my train of thought. I was sleeping through the night, except when I had to wake up with Noah. Like all of these things like started to fall into place all within like the first month. Yeah, feeling human again. Exactly. Like I was able to like the fog was lifted and I was like, okay, like there is a way to feel better. And I can't stop using these products because they've been a game changer in such a short time. So I was really afraid to talk about Plexus. I refused to tell anybody. I think I made some posts like in my stories, like a quick thing so that it was in my story and gone within 24 hours. I was just nervous, kind of like Sam said, just like what people would think. I didn't want to tell anybody. I just didn't want to share with the world like what I was doing. And I just like was worried what people would think. And then once I started posting, I was amazed at how many people were struggling with really similar things, or even other things that I wasn't struggling with that I talked about that Plexus can help with. It was just amazing to me to talk to so many people and learn that other people were struggling too. It's something that, when you don't feel good, most people keep it to themselves. And this kind of just opened the door and opened conversations with people. And being a nurse, I just love talking about health. And it was just a different way to help people and a different way to use my knowledge that I've gained in the last 10 years of being a nurse. It just was really fun to kind of use my degree in a different way. And I will say that when I first started posting or I started talking to people or having events, something, similar to these, I was afraid of failing. I was afraid of being told no. People would ask me questions, or I would reach out to them if they like interacted on my story or commented on my post, and, they would tell me no. And I'd be like, okay, like, I guess this isn't for me. This isn't my thing. I should just stop. But what I learned through all of this is that, being told no doesn't mean they like hate you or think you're a horrible person, or that every time they see you that's what they're thinking about when they see you, is that you ask them if you wanted to help your gut feel better or like help your headaches or whatever. Like that's not what people are thinking of. I'm very much a people pleaser, and I'm always like cautious or like concerned about what people think of me. And so that was a huge deal. And especially in the nursing world and going to work and having people at work kind of make comments to me or make fun of me, like, I can't believe you're in a pyramid scheme. I can't believe, you actually drink that drink. And it was like, kind of like shut me down a little bit and made me feel really intimidated and like really like wanted to just like, okay, pack it up. I'm done. Like, I don't need to tell anybody else about this. But I realized that that was just going to hurt myself and hurt other people who are looking for help. Like if I don't continue talking about this, and if I don't overcome this fear of being told no or being made fun of or whatever it is, that there's people out there that need help, that these products can help. I've been amazed. I feel like that's one of the most amazing things to me with Plexus is learning and hearing stories from people of what these products have done for them. And the wide range of issues that people have that have been addressed or they've been working on just by addressing gut health. I just think that's amazing. I think the body's amazing. And I love that adding something small and simple into a daily routine can change so much for people. So, overall, I was like afraid, like coming into the business side of Plexus, I was afraid of failing. I was afraid of not being a good leader and not being able to build a team and not being able to help people be successful on their products, or be successful on their products and start a business or share or help them help other people. And what I realized is that I was like projecting my fears on other people. Other people aren't necessarily afraid to do it or don't think that they're not capable of doing it, but it was my fears. And so working on my mindset and working on not making excuses or not putting my fears onto other people was something that I had to work on. And I love that about this community is like meeting all these people and like the change that I have made in 3 years, not just with my physical health and my gut health, but like my mental health and my emotional health and just the person that I've like become more confident, more bold, not just talking about Plexus, but like in every area of my life, being able to talk to people about uncomfortable things or whatever. It's like just positively changed my life in so many different ways. So I am thankful to be a part of this team and the community and have met so many amazing women and men, a few men along the way. And I'm just like excited for you guys to be here and just to learn a little bit more about this side of Plexus and sharing and that Plexus can do more than just help your gut.
Thanks, Al. You're so sweet. Seriously, like your smile is just makes me smile. I love it. You're so special to us around here. And thank you for sharing your story. Mama of 3, under 3. Holy cow. Heidi's going to share her story and then I'll wrap it up. And of course, any questions we want to hear from you all, what's on your heart, what's on your mind. Heidi is a nurse practitioner.
Hi guys, I'm Heidi. So I am I'm a psychiatric nurse practitioner. I started using Plexus at the end of 2021 when I was pregnant with my daughter. I always had like really bad digestive issues. I was in a really, really bad car accident in 2018 that I was on bed rest for a while. I had to have hip surgery. I had a broken pelvis. I mean, it was really, really bad. So I had a whole mindset shift after that I was like, basically nothing anymore. I went down a huge rabbit hole and lost myself a lot. Thank God I had my husband. It was our first year of marriage. And then he got deployed overseas for a whole year and then came back and I had to have my hip surgery. It was a hot mess express. But and then I was trying to work in the ER at that time and go to school. A hot mess. But anyway, so I started Plexus a lot I was having a lot of pregnancy pain in my hip and my back. And I was just like, I need to do something. And obviously I couldn't poop because I was on bed rest. So I was like basically immobile at that point. And Allie, one of my cousins, went to high school with her and worked a little bit with her in the hospital. And I just saw her like talking about it. And I was just like, okay, like, is there anything that can help me? Like, I need something. I actually hid it from my husband for a while because we still had like just separate credit cards. So I put it on my credit card that he didn't have with me, hid it from him. And he's like, I don't like, what are you doing? That's making you like, you're literally on bed rest and you're happy. And I'm like, didn't want to tell him, but then I did. When our daughter was born, we had some complications and she was in the NICU for 13 days, which, led us down something else. And at that time I was like, I remember sitting in the NICU with him and I'm like, I don't know if I can go back to work. Like, I don't know if I can leave her. And he's like, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Well, once we got her home, he's like, I don't want you to go back to work. And I'm like, okay. So it was not until the end of 2022 that I actually, like it was a year after like starting the products and a full year of Allie asking me to share. And I was so scared. I'm like, no, because all my friends are going to think I'm this crazy person. Like, what is she trying to put down my throat? Like just a pyramid scheme, like everybody else was saying. And I'm like, I can't do that. Like, I was that secret pink drinker and I wish I wasn't, but I was for a really long time. Like even from my husband, he lives in my same house. But now my husband uses it too. So it's great. But anyway, so I started sharing, last November. So almost a year ago. And it just like, for me, it was okay. Not so much like needing the money, but it's giving me something, to do. And then just finding like a community. Like I needed to like find myself again, like I was in a car accident. I was, had so many things going on all at once. Like I totally lost like myself and all of our disasters that we went through. And I just needed to find myself again. And this community, I like cannot even say enough about it. Like my mindset shift has changed so much. I would have never talked about my personal, like what I've gone through with anybody besides my husband. And that is like what this opportunity, not only like, can I pay my car payment? Can I pay our groceries? Like I can buy our diapers and, I don't feel bad like going to get my nails done once a month anymore like I did prior. Like my husband had to like push me out the door to go get my nails done. And now I'm just like, hey, I'm going and bye.
Uh-oh. Am I frozen or is everyone else frozen?
That those areas in just a different and healthier way, instead of, just putting a band-aid over it with, like someone's depression, like giving them a Zoloft and having to go through like a list of side effects that are 10 pages long that could potentially happen. We can go a more natural route and get to the root of the issue and not just the band-aid where you're still going to feel like crap every day unless you take it. So for me, that's huge too, because, a lot of the medications out there have a lot of side effects that are unwanted that cause even more issues down the road. So it's nice to learn about, gut health and like what all it can do, that we didn't learn in nursing school. Sorry. But overall, just the community was like a huge thing for me. And then, just everyone is so uplifting. No one wants to see you fail. Like you can't fail. Like failing is moving forward in this community and you learn from it and everyone lifts you up. You are like, I don't know. I mean, I could just go on and on about the community of it because it's just like, it literally, I found myself again. Like I really did. And so I'll never stop sharing. I share every single day. And if you look at my page, you will see me in a bikini, and that wouldn't have ever happened. Probably, I don't even know if I wore a bikini, or I actually wore one bikini on my honeymoon that I fit into like 2 months ago, and I was super proud of myself. But that's like the only time you would ever see me post anything in a bikini, and there's one on me now. So I'm super proud of myself, and I am so freaking excited for you guys that you're here listening because it can literally change anything for you, like whatever. So something's like going to get groceries, it can make a huge impact. So thank you for listening.
Talk now. Thanks, Heidi. Appreciate sharing your story. It's always so, I feel like I always get like teary-eyed hearing like your story again with your wreck and your pregnancy and NICU and all the things. And my little friend, NICU nurse, or, baby nurse is here. So anywho, you do not have to be a nurse to share Plexus. We just happen to all have that in common because it's true that we can spot people that can have an impact and a love for health. And hello, that's nurses and medical professionals and people that genuinely have a heart to help others. That's why you're on this call, because I know that Heather and Michelle and Annie, you guys do that too. So I have been with Plexus for 5 years. This is little Ash Man. And when I had him, when I was nursing him in my nursery chair at 2 weeks old, probably, when I was thinking about ending maternity leave, that is when I leaned into, I have an opportunity to share why I love Plexus that can help me be home with my baby. So, this, of course, we could talk all night. We don't have all night, but I started Plexus as a nurse, like never struggled with my weight, never really realized that I struggled with as much as I did because I always ate clean and exercised. And I thought that that was all I needed to do to be my healthiest self. But my friend Heather she actually reached out to me and I really trusted her. She did fitness competitions. She was a college athlete. And she asked me if I knew about gut health. And at the time, I was a endo nurse, which actually literally looked at GI systems all day with the camera. And what I knew is the medical side of it, the medications, the acid reflux and the diverticulitis and the Crohn's disease and the unknown nausea and people getting prescribed medications for chronic constipation. That's what I thought gut health was. But that was actually not the normal. And all of the symptoms that I was learning about and actually hearing about and personally experiencing, I was struggling with headaches and acid reflux and constipation. So I started Plexus, I started on the triplex, and all of those things went away in the first 2 to 3 months. And I was like, okay, like I feel great. So a lot of you ladies on here probably take that or have, or, might be getting started with something like that here soon. That's like the bread and butter of Plexus. And so when I felt the changes of my own and I realized how simple it was, I knew that people needed what I had. And so that's what I decided to talk about. And it felt uncomfortable at first because no one wants to be a weird salesy sales lady, but that is not what we're about. And that is not what people think. But when you truly feel better and you just talk about it, it's a ripple effect of impact. And so I have a little slideshow. It's definitely like, don't feel all like you're in class or something, but I'm going to pull up a slideshow just to kind of show like, why is Plexus different and how is it something that can actually change, the trajectory for your family and really make an impact on your income if that is something you're open to diving into. But it starts with you and, just where you are right now and how you feel, and stepping out of that comfort zone can, show you how many people need you and would be inspired by you. And, learning about Plexus is something that we do as a team. You're not on your own. You're not just like figuring it out. You don't have to be an expert, but it's definitely something that is very simple and effective. And I don't want that to be confused with like quick and easy, because it's not a quick, get rich quick thing. It's something that we have systems for that help you share and help you know how to share and how to feel confident doing that, with consistency. But it's not, like I said, make a post and make $500. It's a thing that helps you with sharing your journey and sprinkling it in a way that's authentic to you. And that's kind of what I'll touch on here in a second. But it wasn't until I had Ashton, he was a Plexus babe. I took the triplex and the X Factor vitamin all through pregnancy with him. And then I started my NP job during COVID. That was very stressful. And, I did it for a year and a half and leaned into Plexus and actually really, helped a lot of people through learning about gut health and building my team and all the things during the pandemic, and actually lost my NP job during the pandemic. I got pushed away from all of that chaos, and thankfully Plexus was there to provide. And let's just say my belief is bigger than I can say on this video, but truly, like the girls have said, everyone is different where they start out, what they're struggling with. And it's just something that, seeing the lives changed in my own personal, experience, I know that there's so many people out there that still need us. So I've since had my daughter, who is now 14 months, took Plexus through pregnancy with her, through postpartum, kind of the rocky roller coaster of postpartum, but the hormone balance is beautiful. So that being said, I now am full-time home with my kiddos, and Plexus has replaced my nurse practitioner income. And I'm going to share just a little thing here, which drop a 1 or unmute yourself. If you've ever done like social selling or network marketing of any kind, drop a 1. And if you can relate to any of the things that the girls had mentioned, whether that be fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of being judged, drop a 2, because all of those things are so normal, but it's something that is literally just a big old fear in our minds that can hold us back from something so, so amazing. So what if now you're on this call for a reason, and you're part of our team for not just a season, but for a reason. So this is 4 of our leaders. Obviously, they're on a beach. Plexus is beautiful, and they really, really spoil us and reward us with lots of vacations and trips. But of course, that's not why we do this. But our team is full of stay-at-home moms. Some of us work part-time, full-time, teachers, nurses, men and women, and you met a lot of the nurses tonight. So there's no like cookie cutter person that is successful at this. The only way to fail at Plexus and what we do is to literally either not even try or to try for a short period and then quit. Go with Eddie. So Plexus, got it, is in Scottsdale, Arizona. And we actually started as a breast health company. So they still have the breast health check kits, but then it grew to the original gut health company. There are lots of alternate gut health companies around, but we are the original pink drink. Every product is made in the US, and we do a lot of philanthropy, so helping other sources, and like our lean protein, every bag of protein that is sold helps lots of kiddos and all kinds of wonderful things. But the Better Business Bureau, I know that that sometimes like seems like foreign, but that is a really great rating by them for the quality of Plexus and the ingredients that Plexus uses. And they do have a medical advisory board. And just in case you're wondering, Plexus is not FDA approved. However, we follow FDA guidelines, and FDA means food and drug. So that is why supplements are not regulated by the FDA, because they do not meet those, they don't fall into those categories. But of course, there's lots of things, you might be here not to be overwhelmed, but just know that there's a lot of things that Plexus encompasses. You don't have to like study it to even talk about it, but there is gut health, metabolism support, hormone balance, skincare, energy help, craving control, kids vitamins, nutrition. So it really just fills the gaps of all parts of health. And the main thing you need to know, if someone asks you what is Plexus, we simply say, let's not bore you with all the details, but tell me what's frustrating you about your health. And then you can narrow down from this list, what does this person need and how can we help them? And then, there's lots of opportunities out there, but why would, you choose Plexus, or why did we choose Plexus? There is no required purchases. So you don't have to maintain a certain rank to make your income. You just simply have to be consistent on your own journey. And that's the only investment you have to make in order to be capable and be open to helping other people and earning an income. You don't have to go do parties. You can do online events, but that's not a requirement. You don't have to have inventory of your pink drink. You don't have to have stock and, all the bottles to sell to your friends. You help them based on their goals, and you order directly from the website, and you help them do that at their convenience. You don't have to meet certain sales quotas. Like I said, the only thing you have to do is just be consistent with your own products. And that is a volume that is typically a 3-product combo, which all of you guys are likely taking. And you have accountability and lots of teamwork along the way. This is just a glimpse of how the referral program works. So the day that you start Plexus, if you refer your first friend, which we always recommend grabbing a buddy, it's just like going to the gym, going to the Mexican restaurant, or a new boutique, you're probably going to grab your friend. So you earned $35 cash back, and then you also earn a $25 product credit with the perk rewards. This is just kind of like a showing of the tier. There is 8 ranks in Plexus, and the first rank would be considered your first bonus. So you would earn $205. That's usually what we kind of work towards at the very beginning, because everyone knows 3 to 5 people, and it gets a lot of really great conversations started. And so, of course, the more you help, the more open you are about your journey, the more you share and sprinkle it along, the more impact you make, and the more your income grows. Here's just another little visual. But the main thing is, it is not something that you have to be worried about. You have tons of systems, and we always help along the way. So if you're here on this call, I want you to remember the ABCs. And I say that because we're nurses. It's not airway, breathing, circulation now. It's always be connecting. So if you can connect, if you can listen to people, if you love people and you want to help them, you belong here and you learn as you go, and we help you every step of the way. So truly, again, this is a very broad visual, but it is not just like $20 here and there. It is consistent income. And what I found, I actually did jewelry for 10 years. When I turned 18, I signed up with a jewelry business. I had so much jewelry. I loved it, but I never really made money. It was more of a hobby. I did parties, and Sam was laughing because I did parties for Sam and we like had fun and it was a girls' night. But when someone feels better, and when there's a mama that isn't dying for her next nap, or someone that isn't, living off of Diet Coke and coffee, or is pooping every day, hello, all of us, right? Like, you feel better, you talk about it. And when people invest in their health, they want to keep investing in their health because they feel better. So that's what creates that consistency with the income that you're blessed with. When you help someone by sharing your story, they stick with it, and then they're alongside of you. It's fun. It's the community of support that so many people in this world, we don't have. Even in, our 9 to 5, sometimes we see what our MA and our manager and no one else. So we could talk forever, but truly, if you're like an ounce of curious, if any of those things were like, I totally am fearful that my sister-in-law is going to tell me no worries. Like, I say the family is usually the people that aren't going to support you, and you think it would be the opposite. But if that is a roadblock, or if that's a fear, we have been there, and we want to help you, step into that uncomfortableness of learning something like this, because we can absolutely show you exactly what we've done, and it can be a blessing to your family too. So thanks for listening in and being here tonight. Would love to hear any questions that pop into your head. And if you're listening and you're like, man, that really sounded like my friend so-and-so, jot that name down and text it to the friend that invited you here. Don't overthink it. Don't prejudge what someone's going to say. If you haven't made a post and you're like nervous about the judgment of others, or, social media can be like scary, but it's also an amazing thing that can allow you to reach people that need you, that you never knew you could reach, or that maybe you haven't talked to in a while, but that could absolutely be inspired by you right here, right where you are right now. So write those names down, and we will help you with exactly what to say. Sometimes it's like, oh, I'm thinking of her, but I would never message her. We'll help with that.
Hey, it's Heather.
Yeah.
I have a friend here and she has a question.
Let's hear it.
So I guess kind of just clarification. So sharing a post, so the income would come as far as if you refer a friend and they start using the program. Is that correct? So you would only get paid if a friend started using the program.
That's correct.
Okay.
And
So for the income, go ahead.
I would say that is correct. Usually, if they just go to Plexus's website, there's about 30 different things on there. It's very overwhelming. They see retail prices. It doesn't really help narrow things down. So what we recommend is, if someone's curious about Plexus, looping into a group conversation, Heather and me would help you with that, narrowing down what can benefit them the best. And then if they do decide to jump on board, you would get the referral credit for that. And that's how that first referral cashback would happen.
Okay. And then what if the friend tries it and ends up not being able to continue it financially?
Yeah, so you would get paid monthly, and if they decide to stop, there's no like penalty to you or to them. They have access to their account that we would help them create, but we would use our follow-up system to help them, get used to the products, make adjustments as we go, help them towards their goals. And if for some reason they feel like it's not for them, that would be no issue, and you would not continue to reap the rewards from that friend. But that's why we always continue to just kind of share our story, because we continue to reach new people along the way.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. Glad you're here, Michelle. And if you haven't caught on, we're all mamas here. I have two. Sam has three. Allison has three. Heidi has a daughter. Heather has the one, I believe. Annie, you have three, right?
Yep, I have 3.
That's it. Michelle, I don't know about how many does Michelle have? Do we know?
We've got 2.
Two? I was gonna say I don't think I've learned that about her, but it's, maybe you're like, I would love to do this, but I have no time already. Like time, I wish we could make more of it, but I have found that the busiest people are the most successful at this because they know how to get things done, and it's just simply something that we help chisel out the time and helping you see, like, how can this fit in, why is this important, and how can this impact your family. And then it's awesome how our focus shifts to a little bit of Plexus. I would say like 30 to 45 minutes a day is what most people do consistently at the beginning, and it becomes a natural part of their routine. And it's maybe replacing the scroll time in the evening that we do subconsciously, or the Netflix show, or the Target trip that we probably don't need to go on, or at dance class while we're waiting for an hour, we can do things like this from our phone. So it's a really great flexible thing that, with consistency, learning something new always feels hard at first until you find the wheels to keep rolling in that right direction. So Michelle or Heather, any other questions?
Yes, one more question. So if you were referring a friend, would this be a product that is recommended to continuously take forever? Is there like a stopping point that comes to?
I think it just depends on each person and their goals and things. If we reach their goal and they're feeling well, we may be able to alter the program or take away some things. But most people, as far as the gut health aspect, just because stress and diets, the good old American diet with lots of hidden things, can sometimes cause buildup. So it just kind of helps maintain that healthy state. But it's not something that you're locked into for life. It's definitely flexible as you go. Noticing a lot of us have taken it, different phases of life, pregnancy, postpartum. There's lots of, big ups and downs. So, we piece together a plan for you and, those specific goals, and then we can definitely flex it as we go.
Okay. And so, for example, if I continued to take it for a year and then I stopped, would my body reverse back?
I would say, there might be some buildup that comes back, or it's very common that sometimes people, when they feel better, they forget how bad they felt and they don't want to go back. So they don't usually stop. But I think everyone's a little bit different in that aspect. It's just a matter of, you won't have like withdrawal symptoms or negative side effects or anything, like that, is, if that's what you're asking. I know some mental health educators here. So it's not like you're gonna, have rebound negativity, but I would say a lot of times people feel better and they continue to invest in their health because of that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. We have a little step challenge coming up too, which is great because, of course, Plexus is one piece of the puzzle. It's not a substitute for healthy diet and exercise. It's a supplement to help fill the gaps and give you the energy and help you with the cravings that might be chaotic with your body. So our step challenge starts next week. It's 2 weeks. You grab a buddy or you try to get active, and you and your friend help or reach for 20,000 steps a day. And there's a little giveaway at the end just to kind of get you in movement after the summertime. So, all right, girls, so I'll go ahead and hop off. Sam and Al, are you using a different Zoom or do you want me to log back in?
We're going to use mine.
Okay. Night, girls. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Thanks, Heather, for
thanks
getting on.